we're going to repeat that again, this time for the importer. Okay, let's revise. This is like revising a second time, okay? In this case, you're an importer. Let's think of what you're doing with your home currency. You've imported goods. You are having to pay for those goods, and you're paying in Canadian dollar. They want Canadian dollar. So you have to sell your euro. That's why I have sell. You have to sell your euro to buy the Canadian dollar. The contract size is 125,000 euro. So that's it here. You'll always buy, I told you that, you'll always be buying. This selling has to do with the type of the option, whether it's a call or a put. That's why we're going to be buying a put option. All right, so I'm just going to go back down. The buy here is to do with the call. The sell is to do with the put, and we're always buying on both. Right, the next thing is, should we choose a June or a September? We already established that from the futures market. We were given 2 months credit on the 9th of April to the 9th of June. We decided also with the futures contract, and we decided on the June options contract. Okay. So you were given 2 strikes, 138 and a 140. Again, we have to go through this and see which is better for us. You'll start seeing it's all laid out the very same way as the exporter. No point changing it. You have your 800,000. What if we ended up exercising at this strike? So always divided by the strike price, 138, gives us this. Bringing it down, dividing by the contract size determines how many contracts we're going to be buying. In this case, 4.6 rounded up to 5. 5 times 125,000. Why? Because that's each contract is worth that. So we bought 5 of them, and we want to find out the premium. I'm going to again jump back in to see where this premium is coming from. So we'll recall that we're dealing with the 138 strike. We're dealing with June options, puts, and there's our 0.018. Later on, we'll also see this figure for that strike. Okay, so 0.018, there we are. That's how much the premium cost us. I always like to keep in the sign of the currency. So don't be thinking this, because this is euro, you should have euro in here as well. It's not, because the premium is like an exchange rate and it converts it into the foreign currency. So you need to convert that at, and I asked that question twice already, this is the spot price. Okay, so 138.22. Again, if you look at the spot, where am I getting the spot? You have to go all the way up here. Look at the market information. We're not done with that, the 138.22. And that's our cost for the taking out the insurance policy for the euro against the Canadian dollar. So what's our total cost? Okay, it's a cost to us. We're not receiving it, unlike the exporter. It's costing us. If we were to this is a scenario. If we were to exercise at the strike of 138, this is what we have to pay. And this is a premium you also have to pay. Why am I adding the premium on? Because earlier on, if you'll notice, here I subtracted a premium for the exporter. Anyone be able to answer why I'm adding the premium on? Have I lost it?
The total we have to pay.
You have to pay for this, okay? We are paying for the goods and we're paying for the premium. So we add there are 2 payments, okay? Whereas with the exporter, we're receiving the money for the goods, but we're paying the premium. And that's why you reduce that by the premium amount for the exporter. So we add those on. And this is what it would cost us if we took out this option, if we were to exercise that option. We will repeat the exercise again, at this time with the higher strike. We're dividing it, look at all the same, dividing it by the 125,000, 4.57 contracts. Again, we're rounding it to 5 times 125,000. This time, the premium, I highlighted it earlier on, for that put option will give us an insurance of 22,500. So the insurance is a lot higher, okay, than it's double in dollars, 11,000 compared to 22,000. But converting at that spot, we see that same figure here. The spot price hasn't changed. We're converting at a spot because it's all happening today on the 9th of April. And this is what we have to pay for. Can anyone suggest, it's a bit extreme to be actually, to have a premium that's actually double. But why is the premium more expensive at $1.40 compared to $1.38?
It's because it's a higher amount, like it's more favorable.
That's it. If you look here, the 138, this is what you'll end up paying because we're an importer, we're paying for the goods. And if you took this strike of 140, this is what you're paying. So you see the difference is just over €8,000. And because it's more favorable for you, the premium is more expensive. Okay, so that's why. So let's find out what our total cost would be if this was this strike we decided on. So it's the 571, add on my premium, and this is what it would cost me. Again, pretty similar. Which one would you go with? It seems to be cheaper, this one, but don't go by the black and white, okay? It's a thin line, okay? So would you rather pay 587, 706, or would you rather pay 507, 849? You're saving yourself €143 here. Even if you want to scan ahead, look, I said we choose the $1.40. But do you think that's actually the best option?
Not really,
Why not?
because we pay half of the premium compared to 138.
Yeah, because remember, these are scenarios. What if this happened? So imagine just for the sake of €143 savings that I paid over 22.5 grand, but the exchange rate didn't even move in this direction that I could opt out of the contract for a more favorable exchange rate in the actual spot market in the future. Why pay over 22,500 when I could pay only 11,500 just for the sake of it? So I would, in reality, I would choose the $1.38. That's what I would choose. It's even though it's slightly more expensive, you're going to save because these are what if scenarios. And remember, with an options contract, you opt out of the contract if there's a more favorable outcome in the actual spot market. And if it's an unfavorable outcome in the spot market, then you exercise your option. It's a backup. It's like being, you don't get hospitalized. You don't exercise your option. You get hospitalized. You exercise that option of your insurance policy. So I would, in reality, choose the 138. And if I was doing this again, I probably would say 138. But I think it's just, I did it just in case people were confused. Why is he choosing 138 when clearly there's a savings of €143? Okay, but you're at a different level now. Hopefully that you understand why we wouldn't actually go with that. I'd go with the 138. I should look there. I say there. Look, they actually choose this option. Yeah, I have it here.